cheese, and Dunkin'. You can order whenever you're ready.
All right, could I just do a iced Americano medium and a everything bagel with cream cheese, please?
You have a great day. You too. And everything bagel with cream cheese?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what else can I get for you?
That'll be all.
All right, coming around. Here you go.
Thank you. All right, have a good one.
Thank you, you too.
All right, good morning, folks. Got an early start this morning on the beach, just walking onto the sand right about sunrise here on Florida's Panhandle. And we've got an entire day to fish in pursuit of whatever bites. So first thing this morning, gonna take advantage of this first light window, start casting around some top water, see if we can't find anything here along the beach. So I got down here yesterday afternoon, did a little bit of surf fishing, caught my first ever surf pompano. It's a little catch and cook. Check out that video if you haven't watched it yet. But overall on the fishing front, it was a pretty slow day. But today our expectations are a lot higher. Gonna be grinding a lot more, gonna be doing a lot more searching along the surf, potentially along the pier way over there. And I might even venture to the bayside and try to do some flats fishing back there. So without further ado, let's take advantage of this low light window, start making some casts off the beach and see if we can't get on the board early this morning. Phew! All right, so first thing this morning, we're just gonna start casting around, see if there's any fish patrolling this trough over here. During this first light window, there could be a whole bunch of fish just looking for an easy breakfast meal right here in the wash. So I'm gonna start off throwing a top water. This is a Uzuri top knock, fishing our VSX 100 on our South Fork Rod Company custom rod. And that water's not too cold, feels pretty good. There we are, first cast headed out. And we're just gonna pop this all along the first break right here. See if we can't find somebody lurking. No pretty sunrise for us this morning. Supposed to be cloudy with a light sea breeze today, so perfect for throwing artificials off the beach. And game plan for today is to cover as much beach, as much structure as we can. Hopefully rack up a whole bunch of fish, maybe even some nice ones. But before we fully get into the video, I do want to give a quick shout out to the sponsor of today's video, Tide Chasers, aka Set the Hook on Island. But more on them later. So no takers on the spook this morning. I'm gonna run back to the truck real quick, switch up setups, switch up presentations, and get right back to the salt. All right, still gonna keep the big fish mission alive over here. Just switched up to a heavier, longer setup, fishing our VR 150 over here on a 9.6 Tsunami Airwave Elite, and switched up from a spook to the good old fashioned NLBN. So this setup here, I should be able to cast out a little bit deeper in the trough where those bigger fish should be lurking, and just cover more of the water column if those fish are too skittish to come up top and blow up on a spook. So let's get down to the surf, start making some casts. Just lobbing it out there behind that first break, starting right along the bottom. See if we can't get lucky. Not feel like I'm fishing Florida's Panhandle. This feels like I'm doing some striper fishing back at home. Just hope this rough weather kicks up these fish, gets them chewing. That tide's almost maxed out. We're out here on the first bar, just a couple yards off the beach. And our bait's right in that zone where these fish should be stacked up and chewing. We just got to keep working laterally, see if we can't run into a school of reds, because I know they're out here. We're on. Just got bit. Oh my God, no way. Just got bit. What is that? What? That's a red right there, yeah. That's a redfish, baby. Come on in. Come on. Nice red. Come on, buddy. No freaking way. Woo! We got him, baby! Oh my God. No way. All right, there we go, folks. We got ourselves the bite we were looking for. Beautiful redfish right there. Just gonna measure him along our rod real quick, because I did not bring a tape measure out here. So tail right there. Head is just about an inch short of that first gray mark. All right, that is a beautiful redfish right there. Whew. Let's send her back. Oh yeah, baby. That is a beautiful surfside redfish. Probably 30 inches. We'll measure him later. See you, shawty. And there she goes. I am in shock that we just caught that right there. I think I was staring at the sky, just daydreaming, as I've been all day. I have been surf casting for probably 7 hours out here without a bite. Flew the drone around, could not find any fish. And I have never been more surprised in my life than feeling that rod thump away. It hasn't thumped all day. Probably 500 casts later, we're on the board with our first fish of the day. A beautiful redfish. That's my PB. I am not a big red fisherman at all. I've only ever caught a couple before in the teens, low teens. And wow, definitely nothing like that. So that fish is actually probably on the smaller side for how big they get here in the ocean down here on the Panhandle. But whoo, oh my God, I haven't been this stoked in a while. Out of nowhere, I've been fishing this trough. It just looks so good with this white water here. There's a deep trough right in front of me. I mean, you can see it clear as day. It's probably 3 or 4 feet deep right there. And that guy bit right in the middle of the trough. So I'm gonna keep on casting. We're almost at the edge of this trough. I'm gonna work my way to the end of the bar, then work my way back. But yeah, I'm just shocked we got that bite right there. That is fantastic. Woo! Bang, baby. Sometimes you just gotta trust your gut feeling. I was thinking, this bait might be a little too big. These fish are used to finicky presentations, but this trough just looks so good right here. As a New Jersey surf caster, I'm used to seeing troughs just like this, filled with stripers in the fall and springtime. And I figured there just had to be at least one fish lurking in here. So thankfully the dots connected. Oh, it's just so nice when your intuition actually works out. And there we go, first fish today, a beautiful redfish. Let's keep on casting, work the rest of this trough, then work it back. Well, there's one, there should be more. But I'd definitely be satisfied if that was our first and last redfish of the day. I'm just glad I got one. All right, folks, we really grinded the ocean front from sunrise this morning to now mid-afternoon. It's around 3 o'clock, and just that one redfish to show for it. I'm surprised we were even able to get that one bite, because this is something I really don't normally do. I don't have too much knowledge surf casting down here on the Florida Panhandle, so I'll take that redfish. It's a beautiful, probably low 30 inches. I'll measure that rod later to the point I measured it on film to see exactly how big it was, but a sizable redfish there, especially for the front beach on artificial surf casting. I'm pretty stoked about that. But while I was flying my drone around on the ocean side looking for fish, I scoped around to the backside of the barrier island I'm fishing and saw way more fish than I did on the ocean front. So I just hopped in the car, drove over here, threw the drone up again to see if there were still any fish lurking around, and I saw a bunch of fish that look like big redfish, big bull redfish. So that is the game plan for the second half of the day right now. We've still got 4 hours till sunset, so plenty of time to fish. So with that being said, let's get back on the water, switching up from doing some surf casting on the front to doing some inshore wading on the backside. I'll catch you folks out there. And can't forget our wade fishing essentials here in my laundry room in the back of the truck. Boom. Put those babies in sports mode. Now we're dialed. Boom. All right, so switching up from our heavy duty surf combo we were just using a little bit ago. Still fishing the Van Stahl. We got a VSX 100 on here, bailless, and I threw that on our 8-foot Tsunami Trophy too, because I think I'm gonna need some casting distance to get to these fish because of how shallow this water is back here. Anywhere from a couple inches to maybe 3 feet deep is what I'm gonna be fishing. These fish are definitely gonna be skittish, so I don't know how close I'll be able to get to these fish without spooking them away. So let's get out to the water. Definitely looks a lot different from ground view than it did on the drone. Can't see a damn thing out here, but I spotted some fish right around that point over there, so that's exactly where we're gonna go. Not gonna waste any time over here, just because we didn't see as many fish, and some guy that was just fishing over here came back and said he only caught 1 speck all day. So all right, where are these fish at? There's one little redfish. There's another. There's a couple more. Oh yeah, bingo. Found ourselves a school. Oh, that is sick. Let's go get them. All right, they're right there, almost directly underneath the drone. I don't want to get too close where I spook them. But we got to cast. That turns at 50%. If I can cast right underneath that drone right there, we should be able to get ourselves a bull redfish. At least they look big. I don't know how big they actually are, just based off that screen, but they're a nice size. Those fish are probably just right in front of me here, not that far at all. Hopefully I'm not spooking them. I can't even tell. But right underneath that drone. So we got to get them. All right. Here's the cast. Decent cast right there. I don't know if that cast is far enough. Really hope I didn't spook them right there. That would suck. I'm just casting a little 1/2 ounce jig head here with a 3-inch DOA on the back. Very, very light lure. It's gotta get right underneath that drone. We got him. Come on, bro. That might have been right on their heads. Might have been too accurate of a cast. Better cast right there. Guess they just don't want the paddle tail. I don't know if I messed up that execution there or what, but those fish are not there anymore. Damn, dude. And they just want nothing to do with me. That wind is not making an easy job to cast either. Oh, shoot. And there goes our drone going to return home. That means we got low battery, so the drone operation has come to an end. But at least we know there's fish out there. We gotta get this guy before it lands in the freaking ocean. All right, folks, and that is gonna bring an end to our send down here on the Florida Panhandle. Wrapping it up, it is 6:46 p.m., which means it's been a little over 12 hours that I've been on the water. So it was an absolute grind at the end of the day. Saw a bunch of fish there on the drone on the flats, but just could not get them to bite. I haven't looked at the drone footage yet, but I had the drone over top and was trying to cast at them. I'm sure I fumbled that up majorly, but that's just fishing. So at the end of the day, I still am super stoked that I was able to come down here and explore a completely new area to me. I have never fished down here in the Florida Panhandle or anywhere on the Gulf Coast, really. So for a first timer down here, I'm not too upset with my results. Today I was able to catch my PB redfish, my biggest redfish ever in artificial, and right out front on the ocean, just like I was back home striper fishing. So that was pretty neat. If you didn't check out yesterday's video, I caught my first ever pompano off the beach. So that was also pretty cool. Just a lot of first ofs, and I just know there's a lot of fishing potential to unlock while I'm down here. So leave a comment below if you want me to come back down here to Navarre, I believe that's how it's pronounced, or anywhere else on the Panhandle or Gulf Coast. I go to school like 4.5 hours away, so it's really not that big of a deal to come down here, especially on these weekend trips. Cost me a tank of gas and some sunburn. And speaking of sunburn, I want to give one last shout out to the sponsor of this trip down here to the Gulf Coast, and that is Tide Chasers, aka Set the Hook, Long Island. So they're an apparel company that's based out of Long Island that I've been working with for the past couple of months. So you can support me by supporting the companies that support me. So I'll put a little link in the description where you can check out their entire website. Using my code, you can save 10%. So with that being said, folks, I'm gonna call it a wrap here. I've got a 4.5 hour commute, class at 9 a.m. tomorrow. We're getting around midnight, and I am absolutely beat. It's been a long day on the water, but any day on the water is always a good day on the water. So again, let me know if you want me to come back down here. Thanks for tuning in. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Roll Tide. You.